this map since, hey, I'm sure you've noticed it if you haven't seen this map played before. We got 3 sites. That's the special little inkling on this map, is you usually get on all of the Valorant maps. So time to see how both these teams can handle it, as we're going live with a pistol right now.
Yeah, Haven has been such an interesting map to watch since the inception of Valorant. One of my personal favorites, just because of what you said, there's 3 objectives instead of 2, so a little bit of change up of things. And the interesting thing about this map is that B acts as kind of a center heart for the entirety of this map that you can possibly rotate through and make some quick plays early on inside of the rounds. And speaking of quick plays, Penny going to get aggressed on, but it's going to be a reset for both of the Jets. No true damage coming through on either end, just a couple of taps to Asuna's light shields.
Very, very slow play coming out here from the V1 roster, as there is some aggression, specifically in the mid department there from 100 Thieves. They're really going to try to push down on this too, going all the way towards the double door position. Whippy seemingly ready for a fight on the inside of window, but not ready for the jump. Asuna keeping his presence strong inside of map 2 as he gets the first kill of the map. Ethan follows it up with a second. Thief so far the only one able to trade anything out here for the attackers, but Vanity also going to jump in on this as well. Thankfully, the members of V1 were somewhat split between a C and A push, so they are able to crunch back against that aggressive move from 100 Thieves and at least get a few trades to even us out at a 3v3. Now they have to regroup and push, though, and they don't have a lot of time to do it with only 30 seconds on the clock.
No, they don't. Right after you said, 100 Thieves delivered the blow that was necessary early into this round and have stunted V1 going into the last 20 seconds. And it looks like it's going to be 100 Thieves to continue these moves. Have a possible flank here from Garage. Oh, and it's going to work out so well. No one paying attention as of right now. Nitro with one. Can he get the second one as well? No, it's being handled from outside. Tries to make the move. Nitro clean it up instead. Penny will take down Nitro, but now he's locked out of the site. 100 Thieves with the shock arrows from Hiko will take round 1.
And he's going to be a little bit too close to the shockdown, unfortunately, so that extra aggression from V1, although it does come back to bite them slightly, is still more than enough to, most importantly, waste a bunch of time off the clock and ultimately not leave the V1 roster with much of an option to execute here to be really the only thing they had time left to do after they finally cleared out that push from 100 Thieves down middle. And unfortunately, they were pinched immediately from the time they went into the site. So 100 Thieves take the edge and take the pistol at the beginning of map number 2. Time to see what they can do with it here. They'll more than likely be going up against a fairly light buy from V1. We'll just confirm that right now. And indeed, it will be the... Actually, no, we got a couple purchases coming in from the V1 camp looking at it now. So they're actually going to try for something here.
Well, they're at least going to stack up on Spectres and Sheriffs, trying to deal some damage to this economy, but not happening as of late. Penny's going to be down for the opening frag yet again here. As well, V1 trying to pick up the pieces. 100 Thieves sitting tall on A. Steve moving forward. He'll get the jump spot. Not able to get any of the frag sitting in front of him inside of short. Asuna dashes into Whippy. He'll pick up a Spectre. Tries to get the frag onto Effies, but cannot do so. This round so far for version 1 going decently. Down into the 2v3 now. This will be able to get yet another kill. So doing some serious damage to this economy and still have an opportunity to try and procure this round. Still plenty of time to shift this across. As well, if you look over the minimap, you can see the cipher of 100 Thieves. Not sure as to what's going to happen yet.
This round's going to be shaking up the economy regardless of what happens here because of the force that's come in from V1. If they mess this up, even if they win it at this point with like 2 players left alive, the rebuys are going to be really rough for them going into round 3. So you almost on that note might expect an aggressive repurchase to come from 100 Thieves. And that's still assuming that V1 win this. If not, 100 Thieves still definitely going to be suffering from the players they've lost over these past 2 rounds, but they'll be in an okay shape. It's V1 that's going to have to go very conservatively in for the next round or 2 in order to rebuild things for when they can finally repurchase with full guns. Look at this, though. Vanity walking all the way through B, using the full breadth of time on the clock there. These guys have 9 seconds left, and they are just now walking into the site for a plant. We are going to see the smoke go down over towards main, and actually just covers him completely. Excuse me, I thought he was trying to send it out towards long to block Ethan, but just self-obscuring as they don't have the time to fully clear out the site. There's going to be another one, and he uses it as a distraction. Beautifully done by Vanity as he takes down Ethan.
Version 1 now with an opportunity. Played this round out to the fullest, pushing it all the way up through mid, going through A-Link and into the back side of the site. It's Vanity all over this squad right now with a triple kill. It's down to Steel, but the cross section, a little too difficult for him to deal with right now. He'll get the one onto Effies, but they weren't playing the crosses. Now with an opportunity to shut this out. Can he get the halfway mark? He can. He tries to stick it, but not going to happen for him. Vanity steps out from behind the box and seals the deal with his quad.
What a play for Vanity coming in. Really got to highlight the dark cover kill he got for himself, too, using the little animation that it sends out as a bit of a bait to distract Ethan. Knew he was a little bit lower on HP, too, so he had to do something to try to win that fight, and that's the play right there to make it happen. Aside from that as well, really great control over the situation to be able to get into that A site in the first place. For those who don't remember, him and his teammate walk all the way through the middle into B and then creep their way out onto the A site, avoiding the entire 100 Thieves roster in the process, and ultimately making that force on the second round worth it. As they go in, they close out the round. With that, they're going to be able to come in for full guns on this one. 100 Thieves would have had a possibility to try to go back at it themselves, but they're not going to follow that. They're just going to go for the light buy here.
Yeah, and a light buy it is, let me tell you. Looks like they're going to be going with the shorty as well. Try to get aggressive with a guiding light. Won't be able to secure the first kill. Just a little bit of damage off to Effie's, but it's mostly going to be version 1 cleaning this up. Hiko, though, with a shock dart and a frag from the classic, he'll be able to get himself a gun. Prepared for the swing, backs off the angle, gets the re-swing, gets Vanity as well. It's all going so wrong all of a sudden, and of course, it's got to be Hiko. Thief, though, with the rotate. That's what we expect out of him, especially here on this map. Still trying to get it done with the shorty. We all know how that one's more than likely going to go. That gun not as strong as it once was, and, well, it's going to go by the wayside. V1 with 2 rounds instead of the first 3.
Knocked off about half of his HP at least, so nearly getting the job done there. Definitely could have made things dangerous as his teammate was pretty far away, but either way, V1 closing it out. It's scarily, but they do close it out and secure that lead now at 2-1.
Just as a slight personal anecdote, I was playing Spike Rush with my girlfriend, and one of the things right now is a shorty is used in there very, very often, and I shot this Raze like 8 times at a decent range, and I hit her for like 34 HP. That thing does not work unless you're in very close proximity to somebody, so got to play those angles nice and tight. But either way, though, version 1 shooting ahead, but now this time around going to be at a little worse for wear instead of the buy department, but that's to be expected. Vanity trying to prioritize his utility over firepower, and you can't necessarily blame him, especially since he's been let off the chain from Icebox. Doesn't have to go with the Sage anymore and a little bit of safer pick. Instead, he's going with the playmaking of the Omen, as those smokes are damn near a necessity when it comes to this map.
Ethan. Great timing on the swing there. Vanity has no clue what hit him. It's going to be a nice, quick, secure, clean pick there inside of the garage. Suna with a nice one as well here against Penny, fending off some of that pressure towards B. They were trying to build towards a pinch, but they've lost both of their angles of attack so far. Vanity going down in the garage play, Penny going down on the attempt to get actual B control. Hiko able to take down Thief as well after he punishes Steel for his own aggression. But ultimately, with 100 Thieves still very much controlling all of the map right now. Spike also down, I believe, in the depths of B. There it is right there. So no easy way for the attackers to retrieve that. They're unfortunately locked into a commitment onto B to at least try and get control of the Spike back, but they are slowly being pinched out from all directions. So ultimately, this just does not look good for V1 here in the 2v4. Yeah,
this cross is so strong right now for 100 Thieves, and Asuna has not missed. Goes for the shot, not able to get it. He'll cloud burst Alice to try and save him. Yeah, Caster's Curse not working in their favor, but can he get the second one? You never miss twice, John. That's the trick for 100 Thieves, is they'll get the 4th round. See, it's, you know, sometimes you miss the first time, but you never want to give the operator 2 opportunities. That's the true key.
I don't know, man. I think you jinxed it. I think
you know what? If I was on 100 Thieves, I would blame me as well.
Yeah, but either way, quickly corrects that, like you said, gives his opponents make the mistake of giving him that extra time to wind up that shot you just saw right there, and for Ethan to come in to truly shut things down with the final kill. We're even once again at 2-2. 100 Thieves of the pistol, as well as this rebound round from just the previous one in their pocket. Now time to see if they can take full control yet again, start to break down the economy of V1. You can already see they're struggling with a couple shotgun and bulldog buys, but
it's B.
Breaking them just as of yet. And like you said, full commitment to the B site coming out pretty much immediately. The pit's going to go down with pretty much no delay either. We're going to see some kills start to be traded back and forth. Not going to affect the attacking Viper as the pit stays well and secure inside of that site. And 100 Thieves have a tough task ahead of them.
Oh, I'm absolutely loving this one, John. Whippy with the Viper's pit. Seeker's out, but he's brought the Judge to the party. He only has one more shell, though, and it goes right in between the 200 Thieves defenders. They're trying to regrasp B. Hiko assistant in that department as he'll take down Penny. It's down to only 2 remaining for version 1 as 100 Thieves are continuing to try and clear them out, and that requires the clear window. But now they have to worry about Thief down low. Can he stop it? He cannot. The dark cover, just enough of an LOS denial for 100 Thieves to get that spike defused.
He's killing everyone, it seems, but the player he needed to. So unfortunate as a clutch was in the cards, but the utility usage from 100 Thieves just way too good inside of that round right there. Complete counter to the Viper's pit. Just it works out really well, especially because that's just when we were starting to see Whippy get into position right up in the face of those rotators coming from C, and that's exactly when the Seekers go right on into his face. As you said, he had to use the large majority of the ammo on his shotgun there in order to try and fend those off, and then unfortunately just missed that first shot or two, and that spelled his doom. That was the doom for the pit, and that opened up the floodgates for 100 Thieves to start working their way back in.
Oh, and look at the read by 100 Thieves here, Blue. The C stack instead, prepared for what is possibly to come from version 1. Much rather play retake for A anyways, is just a touch easier in certain avenues. But either way, version 1 still dedicated to this side for the time being. They'll keep Effies out towards mid-window just to see if they have a possibility of rotating back anytime soon. Still have Whippy out to the far side as well on A long, so not fully committed to anything just yet, all except for their Viper wall on A.
Bit of a slow wind up here for V1 now. You have the toxic screen ready to roll inside of the site, but need to get these players in position first before they feel confident enough to move forward. Our covered Paranoia lineup more than likely going to work its way out for Vanity here too. Hiko is in heaven ready to stop this, but no surprise the dark cover is going to send him away. The problem is though, he got the info dart out just in the nick of time as he's able to get that ping on one player, takes him out two, just as the smoke starts to obscure him. Steel, in the meanwhile, is going to find another one. The neural network its way out. All that intel coming over to Hiko and the other players in the site now. Steel pushes forward with that intel in check and is able to take down Effies. Whippy, the only player left here now up against the 1v5. They've already got a good inkling as to where he's going to be positioned at. Obviously, the 100 Thieves players don't want to give a kill away towards Whippy as well as a potential upgraded gun, so playing it nice and cautiously there. Steals well with the quad in the round. Beautifully played from him as well as the rest of the team, holding off that push on A.
Fantastic stuff, but this is starting to look like what we saw previously on Icebox when it came to this 100 Thieves roster. Last time it was Asuna that was holding back V1. This time around, a little bit of a different name here, one that everyone loves to hear when he's talked about. It's Hiko, locking version 1 out time and time again. Even inside of these previous rounds on the B plays, he's taken out a multitude of people. He's getting these recon bolts out at amazing moments. It's just very difficult for V1 to try and crack this nut right now.
V1 pushing themselves forward, definitely leaning towards a heavy garage play inside of the early round here, but keeping assets back closer to watch for the rotates from A, as well as keeping pressure out of C long here too. Ethan, three-man success, pushing forward from this position once, and he's going to find that success again. Penny going down, catching him in the middle of the cloudburst send-out animation there. Steel, though, with his own aggression, now able to add a second one onto the counter for the 100 Thieves roster as well. Once again, they're getting pinched out at all of the angles they're trying to attack from here, so they have no option to go but forward. Moving in, though, that seems to be the thing that's working. Vanity with the double equalizes us back into a 3v3. He's gonna get that plant down onto the ground.
Well, now into the post plant here for version 1. They do have Effies with Hunter's Fury, so have an opportunity here. Try and play it out with the ultimate. Looking for some early kills here if they're able to procure them, but Vanity working his way back down C long. They've been fully set up to watch this flank. The push Whippy out towards the actual lobby area as they'll start holding down stables. So, rough ship right now for 100 Thieves. They have to try and clear out Cubby inside of C long. It's the Hunter's Fury to make sure they can capitalize on this. Hiko with the swing. He'll take down Vanity, trying to push forward and find the bow-wielding Soba. Steel will take down Whippy. Effies gets one, and no, it can't be done. V1 dedicate the Hunter's Fury, but they still can't win the round. Steel with a fantastic op play takes down Whippy on the re-entry through Garage, and the defusal goes off.
It's too early. The Hunter's Fury gives a raging call out to 100 Thieves, apparently like, okay, now we need to get aggressive. We need to do it right now. And they capitalize upon that in a huge way, moving forward, winning the fight at Cubby, having the op in position to counter out the flank that was coming in from Garage. At that point forward, the player with the Hunter's Fury is the only one left, and he's so far away for the sake of his own safety. That was a smart move at the time. By the time the ultimate has concluded, he's now the only player left and just doesn't even have the space to try and peek out for long to deny the plant or the defusal there once again. So beautifully done once more by 100 Thieves. Thieves on capitalizing on. In that case, it was misuse of utility. We're already in the action here for round 8. Penny's leaped into the A site, and he's not alone either. Whippy's with them. They've lost Vanity in the process, but they do have control.
Yeah, sadly, Penny has been badly wounded on the entry. Only 11 HP, but any singular round from that op of Asuna will take him out. But speaking of that, Nitro, actually the one on the true entry, is he'll take down one of the members from down low. It's now a 3v3 in between the two as V1 continue to hold on to A. Penny on an off angle gets cut down from Ethan. Thief steps up to the plate now with the Spectre, but he can't get it done either as 100 Thieves try to force their way in through the bottom of A. It's Thief inside the Cloudburst, shifting back and forth. He can't get the frag, swings over towards short, but it's Nitro to lock him out, and 100 Thieves now with 6 rounds.
These retakes are just so strong right now from 100 Thieves here. Once they get that first opening kick or two, they'll really let them back in. They don't waste any time closing the gap entirely between themselves and the positions of the V1 members here. V1 really has to get the reactions about them now and really center in on ways to handle these very aggressive retakes, because if not, it's seeming like 100 Thieves are going to end up coming out as the winner of them time and time again. You can see V1 has plans to stop this too. Inside of this round, you've got Thief so forward on the site, assuming that he's going to be able to come out with this clutch play and show up there unexpectedly, but it just is never really panning out for all the V1 players that are trying to set up for these types of plays.
They're doing such a good job of breaking up the site. I think that's a big thing on these retakes. We saw the Paranoia flight out there as well as the Cloudburst to make sure to cut off that angle from Hell. So it's hard for you to try and play that far side of the box like you necessarily want to. You're going to have to try and swing in on that other side or play inside of the smoke. And what do we see 100 Thieves do in that situation? They just play the outside of the Cloudburst and go right around Thief. He's not able to get much done past that point, and it's not like he could try and run away either. He would have run right into that blind from Nitro, and that would have been even more troublesome. So just really difficult for V1 to try and kill 100 Thieves when they're re-entering into that A site. We might see them trying to shift up things here yet again. You've seen quite a lot of different plays from them so far. Most notably, a lot of those B pushes going right up through the center, and obviously that rotate through B into A link and finally getting that plant down, but there hasn't been much sense.
Very, very quiet round between both teams here. V1, obviously, on the attacking side, is yet to make a move about halfway into the round. That's going to be changing now, as they throw out at least a little bit of it towards mid. Seekers also come out from Ethan towards mid, too, however, so that's going to probably give a signal that there's not a lot of pressure here in mid itself, and in fact, they need to investigate towards A, as all the action is, well, exploding out onto this site now. But 100 Thieves still holding on, seemingly without too much of an issue here either. Petty tries to sneak forward. He goes down. That was the last of the aggressors that were naturally here at A. Effys has arrived, but he's the rotate from mid, and unfortunately, he's far too late to the party. Steel gets another triple inside of this round, and 100 Thieves handled the A push with relative ease.
Oh, this is not looking too hot right now for version 1. I hope the defense has something else to say for them, but as of right now, these offenses are seemingly just incapable of getting things done, continually stepping across Steel's utility and just everything else seemingly going wrong for them. They just cannot combat up against 100 Thieves in these last handful of rounds. It's been quite difficult, and now we're to this point now where their economy is full on shattered. They're down to Sheriffs and Spectres to try and take away some economy from 100 Thieves.
Only 3 rounds left to try and make an impact here, too. Suna with an uncharacteristic miss as he swings out there. Nearly kills Effys, to be fair, but is not able to get the finalizing blow. And the problem is, he can't get to a good enough position quickly enough, so the extra aggression coming in from V1 there, specifically from Vanity, takes him down. Penny gets some success to find Steel over on the A link. Also, still going to be more trouble to come here for the 100 Thieves roster. Also, now Whippy has deployed the pit. Really block out access in the site. However, with that said, Nitro sneaks out another kill there, and that's against an important player as well. Penny goes down. Sit in the 3v3 here. Kind of inch his way forward, but it's not going to work out. Vanity catches him. Whippy as well with the shutdown against Nitro, and it seems finally one of these post plans from V1 is going to leave them on top of it at the end of it, and it will indeed be true. V1 secure their 3rd round.
And what a time for it to happen as well. Version 1 pull the Viper's Pit out yet again. This time not with the Judge. We'll get it done with the SMGs, but nevertheless, very similar play. able to clear out B, and what a convincing fashion as well. We see Penny dash forward into the side to try and create some calamity, but then we also see the backup from Vanity as he teleports on top of that middle metal box and is able to assist with taking down Asuna. So some really big plays there from V1, and honestly, I don't think they slow it down at this point. This is the one time they've been able to catch 100 Thieves off guard, and it was really off the back of Penny's efforts as he created so much chaos inside of that B site. Everyone's head was practically stuck to a swivel. They didn't know where he was coming from.
Penny's going to be on the front lines yet again here as he slowly swings forward there. A short, but not going to be able to find easy access as he has a bit of a loan on this push, so doesn't want to stick his nose out too far where he could give away that opening pick to Asuna or another member of 100 Thieves here that's been causing those early problems. Once again, though, there's reasoning as to why we're going to see this delay here, hopefully forcing those rotates from 100 Thieves to go to the wrong position, give them a false sense of security. That's not going to work, though, as they do spot the position. And the V1 member there, Penny, working his way into short off of the drone. Ethan once again coming out on top of the initial contact that he takes inside of Garage. That's at least 3 rounds now where someone from V1 has tried to walk in there and has been immediately headshot out by Ethan. It looks like the rest of the team, though, for V1 rotates hard away from the A push after being spotted out by the drone in short. They're not going to recommit to this garage point yet again, so Ethan's got a little bit more work to do here, and he doesn't even know it yet. He's rotating away right now.
Doesn't seem like 100 Thieves have too much of a read on the current situation. All except for Nitro gets a nice lead-off pick on long. Ethan will do the same as they're trying to exit Garage. Thief finally getting out as well as this spike getting placed down. Effie's with control as well, but it's a 2v4 now for them going into the post plant, and nothing truly to be done with this post plant when it comes to the utility department. A quick trade in between the two, and it's a triple stack for 100 Thieves inside of CT. Not expected to really win out that situation, so now it's Hiko in the defense to procure this round yet again, and it's going to be 8-3 through round 11.
Once again, the opening premise of the strategy from V1 looks fine. They make the right decisions. They take the right approach as far as I'm concerned, but ultimately just can't find important entries needed to really secure site control for themselves. They're constantly dealing with a potential retake at any moment. That never really allows them to set up in the way they want to, leaving 100 Thieves with so many successfully won rounds after the play.
I honestly think the biggest thing is right now is we're having a lot of these leadoff picks go down where version 1 or just simply walking into places like you were talking about with Garage. You know, dry peeking isn't necessarily the worst thing, but it just happens to be a big hindrance for them right now. Walking into Garage and getting these leadoff picks time and time again for 100 Thieves is not going to bode well for your future. So we'll see if they're able to get anything done here, but this is still going to be quite difficult to try and gun out. They know Ethan has to be playing here. You see them prepared. 1, 2. Can he get the third? He cannot. Finally, someone will shut him down, but not before Hiko does what he does best. Pops that Hunter's Fury, knows exactly where that door is on the map, and he's just going to steal the round away in tow with the rest of the squad. 100 Thieves on their defense, 9-3.
While V1 were avoiding garage pushes, weren't avoiding garage pushes, they're certainly not going to go for them now after that play right there. Obviously, sending one player alone against Ethan, that's one thing for him to win that out a couple times in a row. But for pretty much the entire team to push in and for Ethan to still come out as the subjective winner of that trade, not a good look right now for V1, and is putting them into a very desperate position as we switch sides.
Yeah, it's just so very difficult. And I think the biggest thing is that they weren't able to procure entries like they did on Icebox, and that could be for a multitude of different reasons. Obviously, they don't have a set stunner on this squad as well. Omen's the only one here with a blind, and that's usually what we see on those entries that can make it a little bit easier, but just not able to win out their initial engagements. So we'll see if they're able to try and fix that up here on the defensive half as it all starts now. Version 1 out and about, and Vanity with the lead-off pick.
Not going to be the only one that gets a kill here, too. Whippy's able to steal the second. Vanity gets his own personal second right after that. So 100 Thieves, the entire push is dead. Before he even really gets out onto the site, unfortunately. Just the one player left in Cubby, and, well, yes, it's Hiko, and he sneaks off that one trade. It matters not. V1 still went out the pistol with only one player dead from the process. Petty going down there. V1 take the control here. Start to come back at 4-9.
A huge round there for version 1. That's more than likely meaning that there's no real force attempt here from 100 Thieves. So We'll likely see just regular utility, or not even that, just try and save as much money as possible. We're definitely going to be seeing a buy from the side of V1. So once again, this second round has been a little different per team, and that's why I'm loving looking across the board right now, because we got 2 Bulldogs, a Phantom, as well as 2 Spectres on Thief and Whippy. Their utility definitely needing to be purchased. As you can see, Whippy's got 2 Snake Bites, and Effie's with that drone as well as 2 Shock Darts.
Suna wasting no time. In fact, already trying to go for the plant. Snakebite's going to go down. That's certainly going to hurt him, but it's not going to kill him quick enough to where he won't be able to get the spike down. So, Hunter take that W at the end of the day right there. They don't care probably if they win this round or not, but getting the plant puts them into the post-plant scenario. They can all just hang out in the mid-courtyard here now. They don't have to press deep into the inside of the site in order to hold this. We'll see if it's going to be enough. More than likely not. As you can see, the retake is still going off without too much of a hitch. Let's be honest, for the most part, 100 Thieves is a classics here, so this is a tough hold for them. But still, he go with a very promising kill there. Can't take it any further than that. The defuse will now go off without a hitch, as everyone on 100 Thieves roster is dead. There's plenty of extra time for V1.
Yeah, plenty of extra time and a lot of firepower still, as well as Thief being the only one taken down. He simply just had that Spectre, so his economy not going to be the greatest, but the rest will definitely be able to cover for him. As we get an update on this scoreboard, folks, you can see Whippy is doing his due diligence for this V1 squad. And I can definitely tell why you were so very impressed with this guy while going over their recent games, because he is electric today. This guy, time and time again, able to bring Version 1 back from the depths, equalize, or even bring them an advantage when they need it most.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting Whippy to be, this prevalent today, but he's really shined as a huge star for the roster just in these 2 maps. Despite the fact that it hasn't been going that well for V1, still seeing some really impressive rounds coming out from him over the course of the past 2 maps here. So hopefully that's going to continue even after today. He's with a little bit of a pre-fire there. Unfortunately, not going to strike true. No damage onto any of the 100 Thieves members. So still going to be seeing them get access to long without too much conflict, and Steel will be holding on to short.
Be slow moving right now for 100 Thieves as they try and figure out where these Version 1 members are. Have a solid read on Asuna, or at least what's happening in the back here. And he's going to be a quick dash out as well. It's going to be Asuna into sight now. He takes down Penny, who was the one dashing away from short, and Ethan's going to follow through as well onto Effie. So a little bit of a back and forth there, but not truthfully. 100 Thieves well in their right to take this round now. It's going to be a 5v3 up against V1, who's on the retake, and don't necessarily have what it's going to take to try and do so. So, I mean, it doesn't even look like they're really going to try for this. Instead, just look for any eggs as they possibly can. Try and keep that money and stay, well within their right to take a fight to 100 Thieves later.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the situation. Unfortunately, it's a 3v5. The smoke line is not going to be in the correct position to be able to really re-entry the toxic screen, that is, as it only blocks out the long and short entryways. That's not where 100 Thieves were holding in their post plant. They had full control over the site, so that screen would have had minimal effect. Aside from that, yeah, they still had Vanity's utility, but I'm not really sure if that would have been enough at the end of the day. It still would have been very costly to use anything like the Paranoia to get back in there. And then you have the fact that they had pretty much zero intel as to what the post plant setup looked like too, so they'd be going in blind. Ultimately, a smart choice made by V1, in my opinion, to fall back there and try and save.
Yeah, does everyone here like stocks? Because their ROI, I think, is really what they were looking at right there. Make sure that the return on investment was, secure. They just want to keep their money, make it like a little safe box, keep it stacked up, and then invest it later, John, at a higher amount to make sure that they can win these rounds. It's just very smart money moves.
Here's the problem with that. You are 5 rounds behind now, so you have the question of, okay, are we going to be able to make enough of an impact with these 3 saved guns? That's the question, and we'll get our answer over the next minute and a half here now. The round has begun, and seeing if these saved rifles will be enough to push V1 over the edge to start taking it back.
Yeah, biggest difference there being now they have more bodies. That's why we saw them rotate away the last time. That 5v3 advantage going in the favor of 100 Thieves, obviously very precarious for V1 and trying to retake. They'd lose all of those guns and more than likely end up with an odd buy, and that would be the round, as well as more than likely the game for 100 Thieves, as they are well within their right to take this one, currently up 5 rounds as they're knocking on the door of A yet again. But finally, Thief will be the one to shut it. Moves into a pretty solid position, gets swung on by 3 separate people, though, as Asuna does his job and does his job well. He'll take him down and open up the site. This is a spike plant opportunity if I have ever seen one. Version 1, though, ready at the gates. You can see Penny prepared to hop out, but no, it's actually Vanity who hops right out of heaven. He'll get taken down from Nitro. Hiko following through as well. It's just down to Whippy in a 1 versus 3, and you said it yourself, Blue. What can they possibly get done if they just have 3 great guns and 2 other people on low buys? Well, It appears not very much. 100 Thieves take control of A, and V1 simply cannot get onto site.
No utility on the Cypher when they went into the round. That's why you see Steve just sitting in the corner there. Not much he can do from a utility perspective, unfortunately, in that situation, as he did go into the round with much to begin with. A few other players are working with light buys in that respect as well. So even though they got full rifles, it was still a bit of a scrappy buy at the end of the day, and it does not serve their purposes. So on the 3v5, 2 rounds back, probably wouldn't have gone much better. The save also does not work out, and now they've got an even tougher situation in front of them. 5-11. 100 Thieves just 2 more rounds away from closing this series out after going to a full 12-round overtime in map number 1. About to drop this map number 2 in this way. It's unfortunate for V1 to see things go down this way, so hopefully we can see them bounce back a little bit here, but it is not looking good, to say the least.
Yeah, it is not looking hot in the slightest. Version 1, the squad that went to Masters Reykjavik, had a very solid showing. Everyone falling in love with a multitude of these players, but it doesn't seem like they can get around 100 Thieves at this point. This is almost looking inevitable, but still have a chance here, and that's what matters most. 100 Thieves, and most notably Steel and Asuna pushing up short, guiding light out, dash up onto the boxes. Asuna's trying to get aggressive. He'll get a freebie. It's the knives now as Thieves been blinded. Effys is here to try and reconcile the situation, but I highly doubt it goes his way, as once again, we're on this lower buy. Have a judge here for Vanity that could possibly find some frags, but he's going to want some smokes around as the spike goes down.
He's going to see if he can work out with the drone to get as much intel as possible. Unfortunately, he doesn't really see a lot from what we caught on the spectator feed there. Either way, though, Effy's able to line one up with the pistol here, taking down Nitro, but Asuna moving forward, still with the knives in hand. Able to player just as quickly. The right click is not going to take him down, though, so still going to be in an exposed position here. In fact, it all goes down to Hiko, but we are so low already. Vanity trying to jump onto that. Hiko actually can't line up the spray so easily here, so Vanity, no, okay. I was a little nervous for a second there, but Hiko able to round it back, close things down against Vanity, and secure the 12th round.
Oh man, this is a very tall task for V1. This is extremely difficult. Just looking across the scoreboard right now, you can tell that Version 1, or I think worse for wear is probably the best way to put this in a light tone, because Penny is just not having a game. And that's what we're used to seeing from this team, is Penny just having a lot of influence from that Jet position, but that's the difficulty of that role. With a player like Jet or like Reyna, you're looking for those big impacts to be had, but there's nothing really to be done. He's creating chaos with some of these dashes in, but there's nothing really to be had for Version 1 in those scenarios. It just continues to go 100 Thieves' way, and we'll see if it happens yet again here as Steel and Vanity have both been knocked down. Nitro's going to teleport to the back of site as Ethan takes control of logs. This is a spike plant going down on C very soon.
All right, so time to see once again if 100 Thieves has what it takes to try and shut this one out. Got it into an even situation. They've got full control over the site as well. No one from V1 has any access to get back in. They're not even lining up for a flank either is going to be the issue, but they've got that ultimate fuse. It is going to get immediately countered, so we'll have a little bit of a laser battle between these two players. Hiko will be able to isolate out Whippy and find him as well. Thief so far the only one from V1 that's picked up a trade, so we're now in a 2v3. It's a straight line of defense here from 100 Thieves as they try to close this one out. Penny with a good re-entry. Effys as well finds Asuna inside of the smoke. So once again, Hiko needs to save the day. Smoke goes out to cover the defuse, but no, it's not going to work. Hiko does it again as he picks up a triple at the end of the game and secures map 2 and the series 13-5 with the Red Bull clutch.
What's around there from 100 Thieves, and what a series from them. Things look scary on Icebox. It looks like Version 1 could possibly force us to the full 3 maps, but it's 100 Thieves, the squad that neither one of us, John, thought were going to do it in